So I believe it's happening this weekend. Teofimo Lopez is going to fight Josh Taylor, and I feel like this fight is a bit of a sleeper fight. For some reason, it's not been getting as much attention and attraction, even though Top Rank has been endlessly promoting it on their social media platforms. I don't feel like it's been getting as much attention as it should get. But this is a really good fight. Now this is a very unusual fight in the sense that usually when fights happen, there's one fight that's coming off a great performance or an alright performance or good performance, and there's another fight that's like kind of on a slide that doesn't look as good, especially now, because in boxing there seems to be more mismatches. There does seem to be fights where quite a few mismatches happen, but this is a unusual fight in the sense that both fighters are coming off questionable performances. Now, obviously we know about Josh Taylor and Catterall. A lot of people thought Catterall won that fight, and Josh Taylor, they feel like basically Catterall got robbed and Josh Taylor should have lost his titles, and Catterall should have become the undisputed champion. And then obviously we know about we already know about Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is coming off a very contentious win against Sandor Martin, and he didn't look too good when he fought George Kambosos again as well. So like he's coming off two wins that are questionable. But I do think like for this fight, I think both of them know they're in a do or die situation, and they know that they're relatively young as well. So they know that they have to like really pull out the stops to win this fight, and I'm glad that both of them took this fight, because coming off questionable performances, you can't fault them for taking on easier opposition so that they can get their confidence back coming off a fight which is contentious. But they've decided to fight each other, and applaud them for that, because it's great for us fight fans. But what I would say to you is this, right? Who do I think is going to win this fight? I think this is a fight that's right on the edge, right? So this could be seen as a 50-50 fight, because both fighters are coming off questionable performances and questionable wins to some extent. However, one thing I would say as an asterisk to that, I think what's his name? Not making excuses for either of them, but Teofimo Lopez fought a fighter in Sandor Martin who is very underrated. Sandor Martin came off a win against Jesse Vargas. Wait, sorry about that, I've got the police ambulance going on outside. Anyway, Teofimo Lopez is coming off a win against Sandor Martin. Now Sandor Martin is a counterpuncher, and he's very underrated. I mean, he's a guy that gave Thingy his first, I think it's his first loss, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot his name. Who was that guy? Mikey Garcia. He gave Mikey Garcia a loss, and Mikey Garcia, as we know, is legit, is a legitimate fighter. I know Mikey Garcia, it was the last fight of his career, and he retired afterwards, and he probably wasn't as motivated for that fight as he should have been. But let's be real, for Sandor Martin to beat Mikey Garcia, you need to have skills. We saw how good Mikey Garcia is. At one point, he was seen as legitimate competition for Lomachenko, and obviously, Josh Taylor, after he unified the light welterweight division, he probably couldn't get himself up to fight Catterall, because Catterall was not a fighter that had a title. He's not a fighter that really had that much name recognition behind him. Like, he's mainly known for beating O'Hara Davis. So from that perspective, you can see why both of them probably didn't perform at their absolute best. Obviously, Josh Taylor was fighting a Catterall who was like an unknown fighter that you probably thought he underestimated and thought he can just run through because of how well he did in his previous fights. And Teofimo Lopez was fighting a Sandor Martin who's very difficult to look good against because he's such a good counterpuncher. And legitimately, like, Sandor Martin's legit. Like, there's no denying it. He's a very good fighter. So from that perspective, you can see why both of them had questionable performances. But now that they're about to fight each other, I think we're going to see both of them at their absolute best. Now, if I had to pick someone, I think I would pick Josh Taylor. The reason why I've picked Josh Taylor is because I believe that Josh Taylor is a fighter that fights to the level of his competition. So if he perceives a fighter is not that good, like in his own mind, he probably thought Catterall wasn't that good. He performs less well. But if he perceives that a fighter is good, he performs a lot better. Now, regardless of what Josh Taylor says in the pre-fight press conferences, like the way he's been insulting, well, both of them have been insulting each other, but the way he's been undermining Teofimo Lopez, he knows Teofimo Lopez is legit. Teofimo Lopez beaten Lomachenko that was on a good tear, and this was a Lomachenko that looked incredible, which was on an incredible tear. So like, he knows he's legit, and just like him, he almost became undisputed. So he knows he's a legit fighter, and he knows this is a do or die situation. So because of that, I feel like he underestimated Catterall, and for that reason, I think Josh Taylor's going to rise to the occasion for this fight. And he seems to be really motivated because of the fact that they've been going back and forth, and he doesn't like the guy. So, and we all know that Josh Taylor's a vicious character. Like, he's someone who enjoys hurting people in the ring. Like, he's a vicious guy. He's a mean guy. He's got that killer instinct. So with all of that in mind, I think Josh Taylor's probably going to win this fight, but I could be wrong. I think Teofimo Lopez has got the talent to beat Josh Taylor as well. So this is a legitimate fight, and it's a really good fight, and I feel like boxing has finally been turning itself around. I think the Ryan Garcia Gervonta Davis fight is what's really changed the trajectory of the sport in a sense, because I don't think the promoters knew like how well that fight was going to do, and it done so well on pay-per-view. And let's be real, one of the reasons why it done so well was because of Ryan Garcia. He's a very big star in sense of social media, and now that the floodgates are finally open, they're thinking, you know what, let's just put on good fights so we can make some money. Because for a long time we was in the undefeated phase of like the Floyd Mayweather era, where everyone was scared to lose their O. But now, like, we're coming to this point where like all the good fights are getting made. Devin Haney versus Lomachenko got made. Obviously Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis, Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. Obviously now we've got Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. So all of these good fights are being made now because the floodgates have opened, and I think it's good, it's positive. We've gotten out of that undefeated Mayweather phase where everyone's protecting their O. But you tell me what you think below. Who do you think's going to win? I think my money's on Josh Taylor. I think he's going to rise to the occasion like he has done before. He's not going to underestimate Teofimo Lopez, and this fight does seem to be a bit personal. I think there's a personal venom between the two. So I think because Josh Taylor, he seems like a vicious rage-filled guy. I think he's gonna come bring it. He's gonna come and put it on him because he's gonna have to. But I could be wrong. I mean, Teofimo Lopez is very talented, and because of that reason, if I had to put a percentage on it, I'll probably give a 51% chance that Josh Taylor wins this fight, and I'll give a 49% chance to Teofimo Lopez. But you can see that's how close the odds are, in my opinion. It's just a 1% that I give to Josh Taylor of winning this fight. But tell me what you think below. And by the way, in terms of the method of victory, I think it's going to be like a 12-round decision, like a unanimous decision. Don't get it twisted, Josh Taylor's got the ability to stop him, but I think Teofimo Lopez hits hard as well. I mean, we saw what he done to Richard Comey. So yeah, from that perspective, tell me what you think below, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace.